Okay, so today we are going to make a little clay apple. And you're going to need your clay, paper towel, a couple stamps at the end for stamping, your modeling tool, and then a little cup of slip water. Okay, so it's just basically dried clay and water. This will help smooth things out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch off a little bit of clay for the stem and the leaf. Okay, then I'm going to take my clay and I'm going to roll it into a ball. I like to kind of roll it between my hands and kind of pack it. Some students like to roll it onto the table. It's up to you. I don't worry about imperfections that are like big like that, okay, as long as it's ball-like. And then I'm going to take my thumb and push it in the middle, not all the way through. And the name pinch pot gets its name because you're going to pinch your finger and your thumbs together. So you're going to kind of pinch and turn, pinch and turn, pinch and turn, pinch and turn, all the way around. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that the bottom and the walls are all about even thickness so that when it dries out, it dries evenly without any cracks. Now there's some cracks in here and that's okay. I'm going to smooth them out first with my thumb. Notice I'm not using water. I try to do as much smoothing without water, but if it keeps cracking, then it needs some moisture, okay? But I try to do most of my big smoothing out areas without any kind of water. Now I'm going to use the slip water, and I just dip my finger in there, and I'm going to go over it. So you see how that's shiny? We don't want to leave it shiny. We want to make sure we rub the water into the pot, okay? It's kind of like rubbing lotion into your skin. You would never put a big wad of white lotion on your skin and just walk out the door. You rub it in. So we do the same thing with the water and the clay, and we just don't want to leave it shiny. So water is a great thing, but too much water is not, okay? Too much water will cause it to fall apart and erode. It will cause the walls to become too flimsy and fall apart. So you want to use enough that it's blending in and absorbing, but not too much that it's falling apart. If you want to get rid of some of these bumps on the end, these sides, you can kind of push it onto the table and just kind of turn it. And you're using the table because it's a flat surface, and it's going to kind of flatten out the sides for you. I'm not pushing hard, by the way, just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to smooth that out. Now I have my pinch pot, but I want to form it to more like a apple. So I'm going to kind of push this side in here, maybe a little bit up here. And I see how I have a little crack there? So I just kind of smooth it out. You don't want to leave that crack because this is really soft today, but next week it's going to be bisqueware, which means it's been fired in the kiln. So we want to make sure that everything's smooth. We don't have any jagged edges that could cut somebody. Now I'm going to take my extra clay here and I'm going to form the stem. Oops, sorry, I'm going to move that aside. I can use my little tool to cut it. So I have a nice flat surface. Maybe this side I want to cut a little bit. Now if I just stick it on there, it may work, but I always slip and score, which scoring it is kind of like these little X's and a little bit of slip. Just add a little bit of water onto it. So I'm going to score the other area I want it to be at. That's little X's. And then I kind of set the two apart, give it a little wiggle. Then I want to smooth it on. And I got a little water on my finger, so it's not smoothing quite as well as I'd like. So I could always use this to dry it off. I could use a tool to help blend the pieces together. And I blend the pieces together from all sides because I want it to be on there nice and strong so it doesn't fall off during the drying process. Okay? And I've got that. I'm going to use a little fingernail to kind of make an impression at the top there. Then this extra clay here, I'm going to use it for the leaf. I like to roll it in a ball first. Then I'm going to flatten it out. Then I can kind of form it into a leaf. Flatten a little bit more to a leaf shape. Once again, that water, smoothing it out with the water. Okay, I could draw on some leaf designs on here if I'd like. And then once again, if I just set it like that, it's not going to stay. So I'm going to take the back side, score it. Take the area I'm going to attach it to, score it. Add a little bit of slip water. Set it there, give it a little wiggle or push. and then blend the two pieces together. Okay, see that rough area down there? I want to make sure I blend everything. So kind of check all around to make sure that it's attached. And if you lost your shape, you just kind of bend it. That's the great thing about this. And then once you like everything, you've checked it, is it all smooth? Then that's where these stamps are going to come in handy. So I'm going to press a B here and a K there. If somebody has the same initials as you, then one of you can put your middle initial. And then we're just going to set that to dry so the next week we can paint.